The movie explanation today is a science fiction mystery. A couple goes on a quiet weekend to fix their marriage, but end up meeting people who look just like them. What starts off strange turns into something they never saw coming. Watch till the end to see how the truth finally comes out. It starts with a couple named Ethan and Sophie. Their marriage feels off, so they see a therapist. Ethan wants to fix things, but Sophie feels like he's not trying enough. She thinks he doesn't care anymore. During therapy, their doctor has them do different exercises, like trying to play the same key on a piano. The doctor says they're not in tune with each other and sends them on a weekend trip to a quiet estate. Everything seems okay so far. The couple is trying to reconnect, and the doctor gives some helpful advice along the way. But things are about to take a turn. Once they settle in, Ethan notices a small guest house nearby. He finds out people who stayed there before really liked it. That night, while Ethan is in the kitchen, Sophie checks out the guest house. Ethan soon joins her. They get close, tell each other they love one another, and then things heat up. But when Sophie returns to the main house, she finds Ethan asleep on the couch. She is shocked. He acts like he has no idea that they were together in the guest house, which frustrates Sophie. Upset, she heads to bed, alone. Ethan then goes to the cottage to see what's going on. Sophie shows up, says sorry, and falls asleep next to him. In the morning, she makes eggs and bacon, even though she hates it. That feels odd to Ethan. He tries to talk about the night before, but she ignores it and says she's just happy they're together. Ethan finds it strange. When he walks back to the main house, he sees Sophie stepping out of the bathroom like she just woke up. Now he's really confused. They go to the guest house, but it's empty. No Sophie, no bacon, no breakfast. Both of them say they met the other there the night before, but their stories don't match. And, of course, being a married couple, they argue again. To figure things out, Ethan heads back to the guest house and finds Sophie taking a bath. He rushes out and sees his wife outside. He tells her he just saw Sophie inside, but she doesn't believe him. Desperate, he begs her to go inside and see for herself. She does, and sees Ethan's double doing working out. Now both of them are scared. They decide to leave. On the way, they stop at a restaurant and try to figure out what's going on. Sophie thinks maybe it's another world with their copies, or some kind of portal. Ethan wants to drop it, but Sophie says they should work on their marriage and try new things, even if it feels strange. Ethan, wanting to make her happy, agrees. But deep down, he's scared she might like his copy more than him. Sophie promises she would never cheat if she knew it wasn't him. Later, they find out that the weird stuff doesn't happen if they go into the cottage together. So, Ethan goes in alone. He eats breakfast and talks to the other Sophie, but keeps his distance. Then he asks her to go for a walk, but she says no. That's when he realizes this version of Sophie never leaves the house. He tells his real wife that her double is just like her. He can't tell them apart. He comes up with a plan. He says she should ask Ethan's double something only the real Ethan would know. But Sophie refuses. She doesn't want to upset him. So they decide to set some rules for visiting the guest house. No touching, no intimacy, no getting too close. They also agree to be honest about everything and stop if anything feels strange or wrong. Now it's Sophie's turn to go to the guest house. She tells Ethan to head back to the main house because she doesn't want him waiting nearby. Inside the cottage, she finds Ethan's copy drawing her picture. She likes his art and feels really good spending time with him. Back at the main house, Ethan gets nervous. He heads to the guest house and sneaks a look inside. What he sees upsets him. Sophie is getting a massage from his double. When she leaves, Ethan argues with her for getting too close to the other version of him. She realizes he's upset and says sorry, promising to keep her distance. He asks why she's acting like this. She admits she likes Ethan's double more. He seems cooler and looks better too. This makes Ethan feel worse, so he hides his phone in the cottage to record what's going on. The next day, Sophie spends more time with Ethan's double. She enjoys it again and leaves the cottage smiling. Ethan sneaks back in to get his phone, but it's gone. Sophie's double appears and gives it to him, saying she found it nearby. When Ethan checks it, it only has sound, no recording, no proof of anything. Meanwhile, Sophie breaks the rules and gets too close to Ethan's double, ignoring how her actual husband would feel about it. Later, Ethan notices some of his clothes are missing. He brings it up, but Sophie doesn't seem to care. She's busy texting to the other Ethan on the phone. The real Ethan finds it strange that their doubles have access to mobile phones. The next day, the two doubles talk about their own marriage. Sophie's copy asks why Ethan's copy cheated on her. He, being the smooth talker he is, says he's sorry. They were drifting apart, but now he wants to fix things and make it right. At the main house, Ethan argues with Sophie politely. He's sure she's getting too close to someone who isn't real. He says he would never do that to her. Later, Ethan listens to voice notes from his family and friends. They say he called them last night. Then he hears his own voice answering them. But he knows it wasn't him. It had to be the other Ethan. He tells Sophie he's going to the store, but that's a lie. He sneaks into the guest house, pretending to be the other Ethan. The real Sophie shows up and thinks he's Ethan's double. She says he's the perfect husband. Then she does the nasty with him. Again. Later, Ethan comes back home, looking like himself again. He finds Sophie on the couch, but neither of them says a word about what just happened. The next day, Ethan sees Sophie coming out of the guest house. When she notices him, she quickly goes back inside. While talking to Ethan's double, she spots the sweater he's wearing. It's the same one that went missing. She asks him about it, but he brushes it off and changes the subject. Just then, the real Ethan storms in. He argues with Sophie, saying they need to stop all this. But Sophie, only thinking about her and the other Ethan only, blames the real Ethan for making the copy disappear. He reminds her that the other version isn't real, and they need to go back to their normal life. She refuses. They return to the main house while still arguing, but inside, they find the other couple waiting. That evening, they all sit together. Ethan's double tells them a strange event in the sky is causing everything. No one really understands it. The doubles know they've been copying the real Sophie and Ethan. The real Ethan struggles to stay calm. He can't take being around the other version of himself, especially after Sophie got close to him. He keeps arguing with him, blaming him for making things worse between him and Sophie. Later, the two Sophies have a drink. Sophie's double opens up. She says she has the same feelings and is upset that Sophie got too close to her husband. Then, things get tense. Ethan's double shares something shocking. He says Ethan pretended to be him and got close to Sophie at the cottage. Sophie is hurt by what she hears. And that's really strange, because she's mad that she cheated on her husband with her husband, got caught, and now she's angry that he had to show up right when she was doing it. Totally mind-boggling. Anyways, Ethan tries to explain, but she asks him to leave. He goes to the guest house. There, he finds files from other couples' therapy sessions. He searches for the one with his and Sophie's name. The file has recordings and audio clips of the doubles practicing how to act like them. He also finds photos of them that they did not take. Just as he tries to leave, he sees the door is locked. Later, Sophie's double unlocks it. She tells him that she and Ethan's double were meant to make the real couple fall out of love and take their place in the real life. She says it's the only way the doubles can escape. But now, Ethan's double has real feelings for Sophie and wants to leave with her. She can't let that happen. She explains both versions of the same person can't be close for long. Only two people are allowed to leave, and the other two has to live in the guest house forever. She wants to help Ethan leave with Sophie because she still loves her own husband. On the other hand, Ethan's double and Sophie get ready for a hike. Sophie's double goes back to the house and tells Ethan's double that she left the real Ethan in the guest house. But that's a lie, obviously. She takes the real Sophie upstairs, where the real Ethan is waiting. Ethan tries to explain everything while Sophie's double goes downstairs, pretending to be the real Sophie. Real Ethan tells his wife the truth, that the whole weekend was set up. The doubles knew everything from the start and wanted to trap them in the guest house and take their place. Downstairs, Ethan's double tells her he loves her, thinking she's the real Sophie. He asks her to leave with him. She says yes. But then he realizes she's his real wife. He gets mad and wants to go after Ethan. But Ethan locks himself in a room with Sophie. Inside, Ethan tells her he's sorry for not being as cool as the fake version. He admits he made mistakes in the past, says he still loves her, and doesn't want to lose her. Then Ethan's double breaks in and starts fighting him. No one helps the double. Feeling lost and angry, he runs to leave the house. But bam! He hits something invisible and falls unconscious. Ethan sees the two Sophies. One looks sad. The other smiles at him. He chooses the one who smiles, and they drive away, leaving the other couple behind. Back in the city, they try to visit their therapist, but the office is empty. They go home. One morning, they wake up next to each other, smiling. Sophie says she's making breakfast. When Ethan asks what's cooking, she replies, "Bacon and eggs." He pauses, sensing something's off. The real Sophie never liked bacon. But instead of saying anything, he heads downstairs, knowing this Sophie picked him. And maybe that's enough. My review of The One I Love. This movie starts off like your regular couples therapy story, but then takes a wild turn you won't expect. It's smart, strange, and makes you think hard about love, trust, and what people really want in a relationship. A must-watch that keeps you guessing till the end.